a former WWE superstar, recently addressed the possibility of returning to the Stamford-based company under Triple H's regime. However, he disclosed he was not interested in a full-time run. The veteran in question is none other than Matt Morgan. The 48-year-old had a 3-year run in WWE before he was released from his contract in July 2005. The former mayor of Longwood, Florida, later had a legendary career in TNA and on the independent circuit before retiring from in-ring competition in 2019. In an interview with Chris Van Vliet last year, Morgan disclosed that he was supposed to return to the Stamford-based company in 2014 to compete in the Royal Rumble. However, he passed on the opportunity after his son was born. On a recent episode of the Gigantic Pop podcast, a fan asked the TNA legend whether he would be open to returning for a spot in a Royal Rumble match under Triple H's regime. Morgan stated that he would be open to doing a one-off appearance. However, he has no interest in returning as a full-time competitor. On his Gigantic Pop podcast, Matt Morgan addressed the future of Ricky Starks in AEW. The former FTW champion has been off AEW programming for nearly 6 months amid speculations of him moving to the Stamford-based company. Starks has attended several World Wrestling Entertainment shows to support Rhodes. It would be interesting to see if he would soon join him in the promotion under Triple H's leadership. In the ever-evolving world of professional wrestling, few things are more common than returns, surprises, and unexpected comebacks. Fans are constantly treated to legendary performers making their way back to the squared circle, reigniting rivalries, and thrilling the WWE Universe with nostalgia-fueled appearances. However, not every superstar has a desire to return to the grind of full-time wrestling, especially under the leadership of someone who was once a peer. In a bombshell statement that has left fans shocked, an ex-WWE superstar recently made it clear that he would never come back to WWE under the leadership of Triple H. The man behind these bold statements is none other than Ryback, a former WWE powerhouse who once stood on the verge of superstardom. Known for his intense persona, brutal in-ring style, and catchphrase, "Feed me more," Ryback was at one point positioned to become one of WWE's next top-tier main eventers. His brute strength and intense character work garnered him a loyal fan following, and his popularity during his WWE run from 2010 to 2016 seemed to guarantee him a long-lasting spot in the company. But behind the scenes, Ryback's relationship with WWE leadership, particularly with management, soured over time. Disagreements over creative direction, pay, and contracts negotiations led to a bitter exit in 2016. In the years since, Ryback has been outspoken about his experiences in WWE, sharing stories of mistreatment and dissatisfaction that revealed a different side to the glitz and glamour of the pro wrestling world. Now, with WWE under the creative control of Triple H, who took the reins from his father-in-law Vince McMahon in 2022, many wondered if Ryback's stance on a return might soften. Triple H's leadership has been widely praised for revitalizing WWE's product, elevating younger talent, and fostering a better backstage environment. But for Ryback, the change in management hasn't swayed his resolve. In a recent interview, Ryback emphatically shut down any rumors of a full-time return to the company, stating that he would never work for WWE again as long as Triple H is in charge. To understand why Ryback is so vehement about not returning, it's essential to dive into his history with WWE and, more specifically, his relationship with Triple H. During his time in WWE, Ryback had a roller coaster career. He debuted on the main roster as part of the first season of NXT in 2010 under the name Skip Sheffield. Initially cast as a fun-loving, cowboy-style character, he didn't gain much traction until WWE rebranded him as the monstrous Ryback in 2012. From there, Ryback's popularity soared, with his "Feed me more" chant echoing through arenas across the globe. Ryback was quickly pushed into main event storylines, going toe-to-toe with the likes of CM Punk, John Cena, and even being involved in matches with The Shield in its early days. His meteoric rise led to multiple championship opportunities, but despite the immense crowd support, Ryback never captured the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship. He was often portrayed as a dominant force, but the decision-makers in WWE seemed hesitant to pull the trigger on making him the face of the company. Behind the scenes, rumors of friction between Ryback and WWE management, including Triple H, began to surface. Ryback became increasingly frustrated with his creative direction, feeling that he was being underutilized despite his popularity. Tensions over contract negotiations and pay disparities reached a boiling point, and Ryback ultimately parted ways with WWE in 2016 under less than amicable circumstances.